The 20th of March, we have 5 games. We are getting towards the end of week 21, I want to say, fantasy playoffs for most of you in head-to-head leagues, if you're still obviously playing fantasy basketball. We'll talk about injuries and player absences and all sorts of things, as well as the 5 games from tonight. This is... it's Thursday, pretty sure. Thursday post-game show. Let's go, balls deep.
I'm the type to get shit done. You the type to observe. March Madness on my speakers, but today's November 23rd. Got something loud in the blunt, yeah. I don't say what I want, yeah. Probably somewhere sunny getting tan. Foreign women in the sun, yeah. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. That's all that I need. Got my brothers with me. Got my brothers with me, and my mama's healthy.
Welcome to the Balls Deep podcast, brought to you by Fantasy Basketball International. I'm Adam King. Find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at AdamKing91. Find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere and everywhere you consume fantasy basketball content. We are also part of the Old Man Squad at Old Man Squad on Twitter. 5 games to go through. Much like me, I'm sure some of you have got depleted rosters. Did a quick games sort of calculation in one of my finals this week. And yeah, sadly, I don't think I'm going to win it. It's looking like I'm going to lose 15 games, currently 15 games to injury and rest. 4 of which are Nikola Jokic, because I am just assuming he is not going to play for the rest of the week. At this point, that's probably just me being a little bit negative. But yeah, hey, I'm frustrated, so I'm allowed to be negative. First game, let's get into it. Now, a team who probably should actually be resting players, and they're not, the Knicks, they come up against the Hornets and they lose. Again, probably a good indication you should give your guys some rest. Karl Anthony Towns had 24 points, 10 rebounds. Not a lot else. He certainly needs to be rested. They're not going to do it, but he is arguably the most banged up player in the league at the moment. We're seeing the Nuggets, much the same reason here. Jokic is being rested because of ongoing injuries and niggles and things like that. The Knicks won't do that. We know that. Good for fantasy, but yeah, it's worrying if you're a Knicks fan losing to the Hornets. Anunoby was good, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, a block, so one of his better games. Mikal Bridges had 16 points with 3 steals. Obviously, no Jalen Brunson is really impacting them here, and they want to keep trying to win, but yeah, their depth is pathetic. I mean, look at that bench. Sorry, I might be a little bit, what's the word? Blunt today. Mainly because I'm on the pain meds, but also just because I'm frustrated, as we all are. Josh Hart had 13 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. Again, not his best game. Probably another player who needs like a week off, but we're not going to get it. So as long as they're playing these guys, we roster all 5. Jalen Brunson does sound as though he's getting closer, but still a few games away, I think. We roster McBride until then, but honestly, he hasn't been fantastic. But a guy who's starting and playing 30-plus minutes, you have to roster him. For the Hornets, we got a LaMelo Ball sighting. This will almost guarantee he doesn't play tomorrow. They do play again Sunday, so maybe he plays Sunday, but I'd put it at 50-50 at this point because he missed a game for no reason earlier in the week as well. Yeah, look, I mean, this is the risk you take if you draft LaMelo. That's on me in one of my leagues, the league that I have Jokic in. So I've only got myself to blame. Mark Williams, much better here, 19 and 14, 3 blocks. Daquan Jeffries, I think we have to roster him, 14 points, 4 rebounds. He doesn't do a lot, but again, he's playing. It's quality. It's quantity over quality at this time of the year. You just take healthy bodies, players who are actually on the court. Daquan Jeffries is one of those. Bridges returned. He had 15 and 10. Look, I mean, you read through the box score here for the Hornets. It's not great reading, and yet they beat the Knicks quite comfortably. That says a lot about the Knicks, I think. Josh Green, not worrying about him. Damian Ball, obviously with LaMelo playing, he didn't play. If LaMelo doesn't play tomorrow, Damian Ball probably starts and plays 30 minutes, so we add him for tomorrow. Nick Smith had 13 points, nothing else. Again, he's probably going to play tomorrow and play good minutes, so I think we roster him. All right, next game of the night, the Nets. They almost get the win over the Pacers in overtime. For the Nets, there was no Cam Thomas in this one, as we know, out for the rest of the season. No Cam Johnson. They're going to shuffle their lineups. We know that. So, I mean, who are we trusting? Nick Claxton continues to be, is he the worst offensive player in the league? He's pretty close. 6 points. Everything else was good. 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Just has no offensive range or versatility. Very Ben Simmons-like. But you hold him because he is playing majority of games. Jalen Wilson is also playing, but he just isn't doing enough, I don't think. I'd rather Zaire Williams. I'd rather Keon Johnson. I mean, maybe I'd even rather Tyrese Martin at this point, and that's saying a lot because he had 4 points in his 31 minutes. D'Angelo Russell was pretty good here, but when is he going to play? I'm okay. If you get word that he's going to miss a game, I'm okay to just drop him. So Claxton, Zaire Williams, Keon Johnson, they would be my priorities, I think. Day'Ron Sharp he's there or thereabouts, but again, he's not stepping into a starting role, which we had hoped he would. So I'm okay to just stream him as required. Same goes for Noah Clowney. For the Pacers, there was no Tyrese Halliburton again. Sorry, I'll just fix this up. Okay. Yes, no Tyrese Halliburton. So Andrew Nembhard started and did nothing. I think he's okay to stream. Halliburton's missed 3 games, I want to say now. So just hold Nembhard until he's back. Mathurin had 28 points, 16 rebounds. This is what we saw at the beginning of the year. Hold him for now. Turner was good. Neesmith was fine. Siakam, very poor in this one. Just couldn't get going. Obviously, he is someone that we're holding as well. Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Thomas Bryant. None of those are players that we need to hold. The list of must-roster players on each team is pretty short at this point. I did say in my, don't know if it was the last show or maybe the one before that I will put something up on Twitter. I will go and do that as soon as I'm finished here. I will go and put up a list of who I think are must-roster players. The Bulls, they beat the Kings. Man, the Kings are just disgusting. 128 to 116. The Kings, who are adding players and building this winning roster, and they just can't win games like this one. Their construction is terrible. Franchise is terrible. But let's start with the Bulls, who have actually been playing really well of late. No coincidence that they have looked much better since Zach LaVine left the team and went to the Kings. Trey Jones started 15-7, 2 steals, looked really good. Did injure his leg late in the game. Now, I don't have any word on severity or how bad this was. Hopefully it's nothing, and he is able to return. I streamed him in a league. Pretty happy with what he did today, but he was my last pickup for the week. So if he's out, then another kick in the nuts. Kobe White started very slowly in this one, but finished with 35 points, 5 assists. He has been phenomenal. Pretty glad I've got him in that team because he's at least keeping me somewhat competitive. Kevin Huerter had 25 points against his former team. Yeah, I mean, we know revenge game is not a narrative that actually holds any weight, but this was a good revenge game for Kevin Huerter. I think we roster him, especially if Trey Jones is out. Josh Giddey will come back in the next one. He was simply out on the second night of a back-to-back. Buzelis, I don't think we need to hold, but Huerter, Vooch, Kobe White, Trey Jones, if he's healthy, Josh Giddey, they are the guys we are rostering here. Patrick Williams somehow still has a job, but at least he's not starting. They sort of have to just play in minutes because they don't have anyone else. But, yeah, we don't need to be going and adding him. Let's look at the Kings. It's not pretty. Malik Monk was very good, 34 points. Not a lot else, but they just needed his scoring. When Trey Lyles is arguably your second best player on your team, it's worrying, isn't it? 22 points for him with a block. We probably have to roster him, I think, at the moment, at least for the next week. As for Valanciunas, he had 6 and 5 with a block in 15 minutes. Not a good matchup for him. He will be better than this. He would be closer to 20, I want to say 24 minutes would sort of be the cutoff there, 22 to 24, which I think we will get most games. This was just not a good matchup. I mean, you can see there, they just went small ball a lot. Keegan Murray, he's fine. Upside is 0 at this point, but he's fine to hold, as is DeRozan. Zach LaVine, who missed last night due to personal reasons, apparently he came back in this one. You wouldn't know it to look at the box score. 8 points, 5 assists. He's been fine since coming across to Sacramento. I looked it up. He's top 70, top 60 range, which is fine. But he's just, I don't know, he's very empty. His skill set is diminishing, I think. And as we know, he just wasn't a good fit on this Sacramento team. But he's there now, and he will be better than this. Let's say that. Keon Ellis had 0 points, 2 steals. Devin Carter, after his breakout game, had 4 points with 0 steals. Neither of these guys are players we need to roster. I've talked about Keon Ellis. Yeah, he's fine. He's not that good. He just looks good on a team that can't play defense. So, yeah, I'm absolutely fine with moving on from Keon Ellis. Look, he will be better than this usually, but I don't know what all the hype is around him. All right, Toronto fall to the Warriors. Close game. Raptors played well in this one. Scotty Barnes was very good, 29, 10, and 6 with a block. Jakob Poeltl had 18, 8, and 2 blocks, 28 minutes. He'll probably miss the next game. Emmanuel Quickly also good, 21, 8, 3 steals, but could also miss the next game. So these guys are really hard to hold because they're playing 2 games a week, maybe. There was no RJ Barrett. Agbaji started, didn't do a lot. AJ Lawson, who'd been playing really well, 0 points in 10 minutes. It's just impossible to know who to target on these teams. Same with Brooklyn, same with Philly. Philly have got a couple of obvious ones, but yeah, same with Philly, same with the Wizards. We know the situation here. Poeltl, Quickly, Barnes, Barrett, when he plays, are still the big 4 that we want to roster. Colin Castleton, who'd been playing okay, had 7 and 3, 2 steals. It's decent. Orlando Robinson just didn't play for whatever reason. My list of must-roster players on these teams is going to be very short, so do keep an eye out for that. The Warriors, though, a team that we can trust. Jimmy Butler had 16, 11, and 12. Good game for him, apart from the shooting. Steph Curry had 17 points. Did leave the game. He took a bit of a tumble, hurt they're calling it a pelvic contusion or something. He bumped his bum on the ground. Let's just be honest. Does he miss a game? I think there's a decent chance he misses one here at least. There isn't really a guy we have to run and add if he is out. Gary Payton would be someone, but he was out in this one. If he comes back, I'd keep an eye on him. Podziemski should be rostered. Moses Moody, he's still sort of playing enough to be rostered, but obviously the numbers have dropped a little bit with Podziemski back, with Kuminga back. If Curry is out, though, I think I'd hold Moody. Draymond Green, obviously, he led the team in scoring, so there's a story to tell your grandkids. Kuminga had 16 points, 2 steals. Quinton Post, 18, 1, and 1. In his 22 minutes, and if you're looking for a cheap center, he is an option. The minutes fluctuate pretty wildly, but yeah, he's clearly ahead of Kevon Looney, Trace Jackson Davis, those guys. So yeah, he would be the one I'd be looking at there. Final game, the Bucks trounce the Lakers. Pretty embarrassing for the Lakers. Obviously, they didn't care because they rested everyone. For the Bucks, there was no Dame in this one. They saw that the Lakers were resting everyone, and they rested everyone themselves. Giannis dominated with no Dame. Kyle Kuzma played well. We know the story with him. He is much better when both or one of Giannis or Dame are out. Ryan Rowland's got to start. I like him, but this is not a long-term thing. It was just a one-off. Gary Trent had 6 threes with 23 points. That's how bad the Lakers were. Stream him. Don't worry about Prince. Don't worry about Rollins. Lopez, fine. I mean, if you've got him, you know what you've got him for. And Kuzma, make the most of this one and then expect him to scale back a little bit if Lillard returns for the next one. For the Lakers, no LeBron, obviously. No Luka Doncic. No Austin Reeves. So they threw in the towel before this one even started. Dalton Connect had 17 points, not really running to grab him. Markieff Morris played 28 minutes. That really should tell you all you need to know about this box score. Don't do anything. Jordan Goodwin had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks and a steal. So that's not bad. He's been playing well without LeBron. I don't mind him as a soft hold. I'd have him over Gabe Vincent. Jackson Hayes had 9, 5, and 3 in 16 minutes. But again, he will be much better than this in a game where they actually care. Yes, Bronny James had 17 points. No, I don't care. Alex Len had 10 points in his 17 minutes. And no, I don't care. And that's it. Pretty depressing night of basketball, to be fair. Let's do some quick questions. Joseph Kim, do I think Drew Holiday will play the back-to-back Sunday, Monday? No, I do not. Lone Des, Valanciunas lesser minutes since Lyles came back. Does it justify a drop? He's close. Look, I think if you're holding him for just rebounds, low volume, efficient scoring, and maybe a block, he's doing that. So I don't mind holding him, but I also think if you can just stream, then you're probably going to get more because we're not getting 30 minutes of Valanciunas. That's pretty clear. Ison, 12-team points league, Max Christie or Kai Jones for streaming tomorrow? It's pretty close. Who do they play? Let's have a look. What are we up to? Friday. I tell you have surgery, then you're at home and you lose track of what day it is very quickly. Okay, they play the Pistons tomorrow. I don't know. It's really hard. I honestly can't answer that one with a preference. I would just say flip a coin. Both, I think, are worth streaming. My pleasure, Dave. Amazing content. It's not amazing at the moment, but it's content. Let's say it's content, but I feel like absolute crap. I'm on like 3 hours sleep a night. It's my brain's all over the place. I'm all itchy because of my pain meds as well. I don't know why they make me itchy. Is Hayes still a guy we roster with LeBron coming back? Well, LeBron's not coming back yet, but when LeBron comes back, which could be early next week, do we roster Hayes? Look, again, I think like Valanciunas, you know why you're rostering him, and I don't think that changes. So I think his role will still be 22 to 25 minutes a night most nights. Yardship, glad you dropped Poole. Yeah, I said we're okay to drop him. Joseph Kim was regretting trading Poole for Monk. That's right. Patience, you see. Patience. That's all it is. Dave. Oh, this is a big one. I'm in a bit of a bind. One move left, and I have Moody on your roster in one stream spot from earlier in the week. Should I stream in a different player for 2 games, Friday, Sunday, or stick with Moody and add a guy for Sunday and target categories? I have a modest league in 6 categories, 7-2. Turnovers are lost already. Look, if we get word on Curry, because if Curry's out, I'd probably stick with Moody. Whether we will get word on Curry before tomorrow, I don't know. But yeah, I would stick with Moody if Steph Curry is going to miss time. Thunder just clinched the first seed after the Lakers lost. Do I think it's the trigger of them resting? Well, they're already resting their guys. J-Dub, I mean, he's injured, but honestly, he's being rested as well. Let's be fair. I don't think it's a trigger because they're already doing it. I don't think anything changes. I just want to have a look at where are we? 56. See, I still think they want the number one seed if they can get it. Currently, they are at 57 wins, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are at 56. So I do think that they want to try and get that number one seed if they can. Does anyone remember Trace Jackson Davis? What a time. We remember him. I don't think the Warriors do, though. Thoughts on Justin Champagny? Don't need to hold him. Is Kevin Huerter must roster? Yeah, look, I think so. We know who Kevin Huerter is. We've seen it for years. But he's got a lot of freedom in Chicago. There's no pressure on him. He's not playing for the Kings, which helps. I think I'm okay with holding him, especially if Trey Jones misses time with his leg injury. I really hope he doesn't. But if he does, then yes, I think Kevin Huerter is someone we need to roster. Oh, one more. Who's a better pickup for the weekend, Karras or Niang? Karras seems better, he is, but Niang more likely to play both games. Probably also true. Because it's a back-to-back, pretty sure, for the Hawks. So I might go Niang just because I want to go, again, quantity over quality. And I think, as you said, Niang is probably going to play both games. There's a chance LeVert doesn't. So keeping that in mind, I might go Niang just. All right, I'm going to get out of here, go and finish some stuff. I'll get that list up on Twitter. I'm sure people will complain about it and say I've missed players. I'm sure I will, but that's fine. Will I be back tomorrow? Maybe. Let's have a look at games. It sort of depends on the number of games because I run out of steam pretty quickly at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 games. Maybe. We'll see. I'll keep you guessing. There might be a show tomorrow. Please go and download and like. I know we're filtering out of the fantasy basketball space at the moment. I will be running a playoff pick'em league through the Old Man Squad Discord server. So if you are in there, the link will be in the Old Man, in my channel, the Balls Deep channel in the Old Man Squad Discord server. If you aren't in the Old Man Squad Discord, you can join it. I think Dan's probably got it in his profile or something, or just hit him up. But join in there. I'll be running a league for him. And back tomorrow, maybe. But that will do. Thank you, everyone. I'm Adam King. This has been the Balls Deep post-game show. Until next time, catch ya.
You just listened to another episode from the Fantasy Basketball International Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us. And for more information about joining our community, please check out our website at FBI.